Talk about jumping on the bandwagon, right? Would this video have been made prior to Wrestle Kingdom 11? It's arguable at best, but that's what an amazing pro wrestling match does. It transcends everything and changes the conversation. And that's exactly what happened with Kenny Omega following New Japan's biggest event of the year. By having a match that many people have said is the best ever, he's become a different commodity entirely. And that's why it's time he came to the WWE. Why? Here's why. While it's easy to forget today, it's pretty difficult to get the entire wrestling world talking when you're not directly associated with the WWE. That's just the power that a big brand has. For example, a casual wrestling fan probably doesn't even call it pro wrestling. They just go, yeah, I watch that WWE stuff from time to time. WWE stuff. Now that's just gibberish as a phrase, but that's the level that Vince McMahon has reached. His company sits atop of the tree and will garner the most press attention. I mean, even the recent announcement of Kurt Angle being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year made it to BBC News. And that sums it all up. That's not to say events in the wider wrestling world don't create a spark or a buzz, because they absolutely do. The difference is how far they make it. Sometimes it can feel like an incident in Ring of Honor or TNA has exploded. While it has managed to get some traction, this is usually the hardcore fan base talking to the hardcore fan base. And because the hardcore fan base is talking to the hardcore fan base and the hardcore fan base is listening and talking back, you soon start to realize it's kind of the same people talking to each other about the same stuff. I don't think that's the case when it comes to Kenny Omega versus Okada. Not only did it trigger the most passionate fans, but it went outside of that as well and caught the attention of the casual ones too. I had friends who only have a passing interest in wrestling getting in touch with me to ask what all the fuss was about. And when you get to that stage, you know you've done something right, and you've done something that's memorable and something that's up here. Most stuff's about here, then you get your special stuff that's here, and then the big stuff is reserved for there. That's pretty high. All of this puts Kenny Omega in an amazing position. Aside from being a talented performer that he was before all of this, he now has a buzz, and buzz in the pro wrestling world can sometimes be more important than talent. He has value, cachet, he feels important. It's for all these reasons and more that the man should start making his way to WWE. I realise there's loads left for him to do in New Japan, winning the IWGP title for one, but there's a very good argument to make that the right time to do it is now, mostly due to how high his stock currently is. There's every chance he could do another year in Japan and push that up further still. I don't think Omega knows anything else but full gear, so if he continues to go full gear for another 12 months, there's everything to say that in 12 months' time, he's going to be even better than he is now. So why wait? And why not go to the promotion that many deem as the biggest? That sounds like a smart move to me, which many will see as selling out, which has always been weird. A lot of this is obviously dependent on how he'd be used by Vince and friends. Even The Rock could lose his stigma on a return if he did come back to the company and then get told, oh, by the way, Dwayne, you're going to lose to Fandango in 2 minutes and you're going to lose clean. Now, that's nothing against Fandango, but the way you are portrayed is the way you are received. So, in the same sense, if WWE wants Omega to be the main eventer he so obviously can be, he needs to be treated like a main eventer. That means walking through the door and straight away entering programs with John Cena, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho. Hell, put him with Brock Lesnar. Put him against all the big dogs and let him swim. Let him swim like a fish. This is a man that if you let fly, is gonna fly. So don't clip his wings, open the window, set him free. This is not only good for Omega, because he'll be thrust into a brand new limelight, but it's good for WWE as well. How many times have we discussed the brand split and said we need more star power? Kenny Omega is that star power, and Kenny Omega could go on Raw or SmackDown tomorrow and fit in effortlessly. Getting people like this into a WWE ring negates that problem almost instantly, especially when you think, wait a minute, there's still Samoa Joe and Nakamura in NXT. Imagine all those three guys at the same time on either brand. That is a massive shot in the arm. All of them can put on great matches and do terrific promos that make you believe in this crazy world of pro wrestling. But why stop there? Let's shift some gears and get Bobby Roode ready and put Austin Aries in the Cruiserweight division. Then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to see all of these guys. I've got to watch all of these programs because they're all great. The entire picture changes almost instantly, and there's no reason why the catalyst for that cannot be one person who is called Kenny Omega. And if you were expecting any other name to come out of my mouth, then you haven't listened to any of this video, and now I'm really sad. I'm disappointed in you. It's a fair rebuttal to say that the last thing we need is even more familiar faces going to the big leagues, but that's just how this stuff works. It feels like the right time to make this happen, and as we're having this lovely chat, Omega is more over now than he ever has been. So why wait? Why not make that splash today? Unless, of course, he doesn't want to go to the WWE. And if that's the case, then he shouldn't go to the WWE. I mean, he shouldn't do something he doesn't want to do. That would be madness. If you don't want to do something, you don't do it. Ultimately, that would just be really silly, and I am not about silliness. I am about Kenny Omega, whatever that means. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this, and then like, share, and subscribe, and then come follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. Now, I'm Simon from What Culture, and yes, this was another episode in the Why series, where you look me in the eye and I tell you why.